What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Restoration Rundown Podcast, the podcast that's made for you, the restoration business owner. My name is Benjamin Riccardi, and I'm with Ironclad Restoration Marketing, and we help restoration business owners with their digital marketing, getting their internet marketing right to allow them to get more leads and sales from the internet. And today, we've got a very important, very cool topic to discuss, and that is cat season. Yeah, we're about in the middle of July right now, which is right in the heat of one of the only seasons we have down here in South Florida where I'm located, which is hurricane season. So we have like summer, then summer, then summer, then hurricane season, and then a little bit cooler of a summer. But it is very important for a lot of restorers. Cat season presents a lot of challenges, and also within those challenges, it also presents a lot of opportunities for a lot of restorers out there. You know, cat season is your bread and butter. That's what you are preparing for all year to deal with the frozen pipes, the flooding, the storms, the hurricanes, and everything that comes within cat season. So we're right in the heat of it. And today we're going to talk a little bit about cat season, what they are projecting as far as revenues out there. But more importantly, we're going to talk about how you can leverage your digital marketing efforts to get more leads for your business during cat season, so you can make sure that you're scaling, growing the right way, and bringing those jobs in that you need during cat season. So if you're just listening to this on Spotify or Apple Play or any of the streaming services, go and check out this YouTube video, because we've got a really cool deck that we're going to present right now for this podcast recording that I'd like for you to follow along with. And then you'll be able to check out and really take some notes on this, because a lot of this information is going to be really valuable for you if you're serious about getting more leads for your business for cat season. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now. If you're listening on Spotify, pause it here, or if you want to listen to it, just go check out the YouTube or the LinkedIn version of this while it's going live here. So right now, we want to make sure that with cat season that you're just ready for it, right? A lot of people just decide that they're going to get ready for cat season like right when cat season starts. But that's kind of like deciding to get your beach body ready right during the beginning of summer. Now, it's going to take some time to build and implement some of these strategies to make sure that you're starting off on the right foot when cat season does happen. So planning for next year, it's a good time to start right now if you have nothing in place as far as your processes for how you're going to generate more visibility during cat season. But cat season is projected to be very active this year. Just here, they're projecting 17 to 25 total named storms in 2024, which equals a lot of money. In 2023, there was over $93.1 billion in disasters that were spread around the United States. That is an astonishing amount of money. There's 28 weather-related and climate disasters, all totaling around $1 billion each. So there is plenty of work out there for those of you that know what to do and to properly leverage your digital marketing efforts to get that visibility out there to capture some of these storms. All right. And cat season, like I said before, presents a lot of challenges, right? The competition has ramped up, right? The guys that know what they're doing, the companies that have been there, done that, are ready 3 or 4 months before implementing new campaigns and new strategies. And you're just saturated with a lot more competition, especially in your local areas with these outside vendors coming in during these storms or during frozen pipe or anything that might happen during cat season. And then with that intense competition, your resources are constrained, right? Whether it's just procurement of materials and equipment, or when you're coming down to your marketing dollars, your resources are going to be a little bit tight. So you want to make sure we're maximizing those marketing budgets, right? And these cat situations are geographically localized, right? So you need to have very, very custom tailored digital marketing efforts. For instance, if you're a company in Florida and a storm hits the Gulf Coast and you want to be able to go and get jobs in Alabama and Mississippi and Texas, if that's the case. Right now, I know Texas is dealing with the storm from Beryl. So if you want to be able to project your business out to these other areas, you have to understand the geographical variations, which presents a big challenge for you as well. And then time sensitivity, right? You only have so much time to get these leads. It's only going to be hot for so long. So you want to make sure that you're ahead of the game a little bit. And you also have to be able to make very fast decisions. You need to be able to switch gears if something's not working, especially if you're spending a ton of money on pay-per-click or with your LSA and it's not working, or you want to go project your business into another state. You need to be able to make those decisions quickly and effectively, because they could equal a lot of wasted money for your business. And we'd never want to do that. Right. So what are the solutions, right? Talk a lot about visibility. In general, you want to be able to maximize your visibility where you want these jobs. Okay. And, really, when we're talking about your visibility, and I'm going to speak from a digital marketing perspective, we're talking about Google, right? When we talk about Google, it's not the only search engine, but Google has the lion's share of search. I think over 97% of searches are on Google. So while, yes, there's Bing, and while there's these other search engines out there that people may utilize, the lion's share of work is coming from Google. So you never want to spread your visibility too much, because you're going to be working on these search engines that don't have as much volume, right? So I'm always a proponent of getting really healthy on Google and then seeing what we can do for these supplemental search engines out there, because it's a very good idea. You want to be able to cast a very wide net. And we talk about being omnipresent and taking an omni-channel approach, and that would be part of it. But for the purposes of today and for the purposes of this cat season that we're in right now in 2025, let's concentrate on getting you really healthy on Google. So you want to maximize your visibility. You want to know your numbers, right? That means what you did last year, what you're planning on doing this year, what you need to do to keep your trucks on the road. But more so, you need to understand what you can take on as a business. Because if you are spending money on Google Ads or LSA and you've maximized your capabilities and you're still running these ads, you're still getting these lead flows in, one, you're not going to be able to handle these projects. Two, you're going to spread your people very thin. Three, you're throwing money out the window for these ads that people are clicking on. And four, when it comes to LSA, if you're not fulfilling these leads that are coming in, you're really putting yourself behind the eight ball when it comes to running LSA the next time. So if you know, one of the ranking factors and all the things with LSA is you want to make sure you're following up, answering leads, and doing these jobs and getting reviews with those LSA leads in a very consistent manner. And if you're not following up with them, they're not just going to take those leads away from you for cat season, but when you start to run these campaigns perpetually for the time in between cat seasons, you're not going to get as good results as you would have normally. So you really need to know your numbers. In general, when I talk about visibility, I'm talking about taking over this entire page one of Google. Now, we know from previous podcasts or listening to me speak, or you just might know this information, there are three core components of a Google search. So if somebody searched out storm damage restoration in Miami, the first things they're going to see are the Google Ads section. And on our deck, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to see here, the first thing you see are the Google Guaranteed, or LSA, the local service ads. Those are amazing right now. We're really getting really great results with all of our clients, and our clients that are using the LSA program. It's great. It's a pay per lead model versus a pay per click. And I'm not going to get into all the ins and outs of it, but that is the first thing people are going to see, which is the Google Ads section. So you're going to have that. You're going to have your traditional pay per click right after that, where you see the sponsored here. Then you're going to have your maps listings. Then right below maps are your organic, and each one of those channels take a different tactic and approach to be able to rank you on. So you got to have a healthy process. You have to have a strategy months before cat season hits in order to rank well in all three of those areas. Now, with LSA and pay-per-click, you have a little more flexibility. So if you haven't done anything with SEO, you don't have a website, you don't have Google business page, that's fully optimized, there is some opportunity to run LSA and pay-per-click for cat season and get some jobs out of that. But in a perfect world, you would have great placement in the entire first page of Google. You just got to remember, attention equals money, right? So the more you're out there, the social media posting that you should be doing for your business during cat season, just to let people know that you're there. I don't want you to think like, hey, we need to post on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok that, hey, we're your number one solution for all this and trying to get the sale. No, you should be posting value-based information on social media. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, so attention equals money. Number one, you've got to be proactive. I talked about the beach body, getting ready for your beach body season right in the beginning of summer. That typically doesn't work out, because the reality is, if you want to rank well in the organic section or the map section, it can take 3 months, 6 months, even a year for some of those higher competitive keywords like water damage restoration or hurricane damage restoration or roof tarping or anything that people would be searching for during these catastrophic events. You want to make sure that you're taking up all that real estate, and you have to understand the timelines that come with each one of those channels. So that's step one, understand the timelines, and then to understand that you're going to have to implement each one of these things leading up to these cat season. And in general, getting that visibility for your business is a good idea if you want to get leads even in between the cat seasons, right? We talked about taking 6 months to rank well organically, that's legitimate. Unless you are the only restoration contractor in your territory within 100 miles. But then the volume's not going to be that high there anyways. You're probably going to want to project out. But in general terms, in this industry, there's a lot of competition. So it does take a little longer to rank, and you have to be consistent. You can't jump around from marketing agency to marketing agency. Before you step foot in any type of business relationship with a marketing agency or even hiring somebody on, you really need to understand the realistic timelines of all of these things to be able to rank well, because you're going to get a much better end product if you're looking at the big picture instead of just what's right in front of you. It's no different than trying to lose weight and hiring a personal trainer and going on a diet and standing on the scale in 3 days and saying, well, I haven't got to my goal yet. These guys are garbage. No, it takes time, and it takes consistency, and it takes a lot of different hands-on approach and different modalities to be able to get you ranked well. So you need to know that, but most importantly, be proactive. All right. Number 2, you got to use your data and know your numbers. All right. So you want to maximize the limited resources that you have during this time, right? Whether it's money or whether it's materials and equipment, you need to be able to use past data from your company in cat seasons and make sure that you set aside enough of a budget to fill your business with as many leads as you need to fill to keep you guys busy during this season. Because the higher competition it is during cat season, the more expensive the Google ads are going to be. There's going to be an increased demand. All your ad costs are going to go up, and there's going to be a lot more competition for getting ranked. So you got to make sure that you have enough money set aside. You don't want to just throw a little bit of money at it and say, oh, this doesn't work. Or conversely, you don't want to spend a ton of money and not get anything out of it. So understanding your data, understanding your numbers, really being able to understand your analytics from a digital marketing perspective is very important. And you don't have to overcomplicate it. Just really understanding the difference between organic traffic leads versus your maps leads versus your LSA and your pay-per-click leads is going to help you out much more than just blindly throwing a budget at it. Okay. So most marketing agencies should be able to use their own data in your territories. If they're restoration specific, like we are here at Ironclad, we're able to give you some sort of semblance of an idea of what the ad spend will look like and how long you need to be worried about spending that money. Okay. So knowing your numbers is crucial, not just for cat season, but in general for owning a business. And you have to look at this as an investment. So number 3 would be invest. You need to invest in SEO, Google Business Profile Management, and Google Ads, because those are the top 3 ways that you are going to be visible in a search engine, especially when cat season strikes. Now, there is a lot to say about investing in your social media management and other things like TikTok and video. I think those are super important, but if you don't have the basics down, you are just watering down your efforts. So let's get really good with your visibility and get healthy with the visibility on a search engine. And then we start looking into social media as ancillary or supplemental forms of visibility, because really the way I look at it at the end of the day, a lot of people for most of the services that you provide aren't looking for somebody to come clean up their flood damage by going onto Facebook and searching flood damage contractor, right? They're going to go to Google. But what Facebook does is it keeps your business top of mind. And when we talk about investing, every post you make on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter is an investment into the visibility of your company. So make sure you're not always asking for the sale. Make sure you're teaching people something. Create video. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. So use this cat season to invest in your video library. Make videos about what to expect for your services in your area that are specific, and speak genuine. Don't worry about overproducing it. Pull your phone out and get that content out of your mouth, and make sure you're utilizing that, which what we talk about, and syndicate that content. You want to make sure you're putting that video up on all your social media channels and put it on your website, because all of these little investments may not pay off right now in 2024's cat season. But if you do this consistently throughout the rest of 2024, we've got 6 or 7 months left, whatever month we're in, for you to build this library of resources and put it onto your website and let it do its thing. And you are able to spread your name out, cast a wide net, and nobody will be able to escape your brand when they're looking for somebody to help them remediate their property damage, especially for 2025 and beyond. All right. So we'll talk about SEO for a second. SEO, if you've listened to this before or watched me in person, I like to call SEO the garden of leads and your Google business profile. It's a garden. It is free, but you have to plant your garden. You still have to invest in your seeds. You still have to tend the soil. You still have to water it, but it takes a long time for your garden to grow. Now, if you're looking at this garden as a garden that you're growing leads, it makes a little bit more sense, right? So you have to utilize it, but you have to invest into it, because down the road, SEO, your organic rankings, your Google business profile is going to be the most sustainable, right? Your Google ads budget is always going to be there. You're pay to play. As soon as you pull that money away from your ads, you're gone. So what supplements that is your organic rankings and your Google business profile. It is the garden for leads. So, as well as I do, is if you've ever grown a garden or tried to do SEO, it takes some months to be able to rank better, right? Because there is no magic bullet to ranking. I don't care what anybody tells you. The only way to rank properly in the organic section and Google business profile is adhering to Google's standards and guidelines, putting the right content on your website, having your website optimized properly, and consistently adding value content for the service you want in the city that you want to provide it. So you need to make sure you're planning accordingly. This is what I would call the weight loss right at summer season. So it's something that's great. It's a great opportunity for you. If you haven't started investing into it, it is an investment in your business that will pay off tenfold in the long run. It's the most sustainable way to get leads for your business, right? So a few things you want to make sure strategy-wise, make sure you have the right content on your website, right? You want to make sure you have a separate page for each one of the services that you provide. So if you are a property damage restoration contractor and you really only do XYZ, make sure you have a separate page for XYZ: water damage restoration, fire damage restoration, mold remediation. 3 service pages separate on your site with more than 750 words of content that's optimized to those keywords in the cities that you provide those services. Now, we can go down a huge rabbit hole of strategy and tactics for SEO, but at the surface level, on a minimum, make sure you have those ducks in a row, right? Content-wise, make sure your content blogs, you're blogging consistently on your website. It's a great way to add fresh content to your website to make sure that Google's crawling your website, one, and also that you're actually able to answer questions that people may have when it comes to property damage or other services that you provide. Now, you got to make sure you have an optimized Google business profile. I've made a ton of podcast episodes. I've been on interviews. I speak about this in person. It is your bread and butter. You're in the home services or commercial services industry. Your Google business profile, one, it's the first thing people see outside of the ads when they pop up. But it is a very important part of your marketing strategy. A lot of people are going to find your Google business profile first. They're going to make sure you do what you say you do what service that they need. And then they're going to look at your reviews. They're going to take some social proof. And most of the time they're going to visit your website, and then they're going to pick up the phone and call you right there on the spot. Make sure you have your Google business profile optimized with the services you provide. All the service areas that you provide services in. Make sure it's verified. Make sure you have the right phone number. Make sure you have your website listed, and make sure you're consistently posting updates on your Google business profile to let people know that you can help them with their property damage problems, and make sure that you are posting content relative to what you rank for, just like social media, and then link all that content back to your website and create this ecosystem of content where people can't escape you once they find you, right? And I talked a little bit before about video content. If you can do it, huge. It's powerful. People tend to watch a video more so on your website than they will to read a blog. So implement video into everything that you do. It's a great way to teach people something. It's a great way to provide value, and it's a great way to put a face to a name and provide authenticity to what you're doing for your business. Okay, so utilize the leads garden. Make sure that you're implementing SEO and Google business profile management. Now, some people can't wait 6 months to eat, right? Some people can't wait 6 months to a year to get leads to their business. You've got to keep them trucks on the road now. And that's why we go to the grocery store, which is pay-per-click and the LSA program, the grocery store of leads. Because like I mentioned, your organic takes months to bear fruit. The earlier that you start, the better. But pay-per-click can be instantaneous and is much more expensive during cat season. So you don't want to wait till it starts to start trying to compete online. You wouldn't wait till July to get your Beachbody ready. So your couple things, you want to run LSA, the Google local service ads, the Google guarantee. They help you connect with people that are searching on Google for the services you offer. And it's a pay per lead versus pay per click, right? So pay per click, every time they click on the ad, it's costing you a certain amount of money, which during cat season is a lot. Local service it's a much harder, stringent vetting process to get approved for it, but you're getting more qualified leads, and you only pay for the leads that you actually close and book jobs from, okay? There's a very comprehensive vetting process. You have to be accredited, insured, and licensed. You need at least 3 Google reviews, and you have to follow up with your leads within 15 minutes. LSA is a little different than pay-per-click because there's a ranking system. So if you're going to run LSA, really take the big picture strategy into play, because if you run LSA and then you pause them for a few weeks and then you run LSA again, you're really kind of watering down your gas. So LSA is kind of like organic or SEO work. If you start SEO and you do really well for 4 or 5 months and then you just stop for a few months, you're kind of like rolling back down that hill a little bit and starting over from scratch. Whereas pay-per-click, you can turn it on, turn it off as needed, but a healthy mix of both is going to be in your benefit for getting leads, especially during cat season. So a couple tips. These are going to get you leads now. For big storms, most likely the internet's going to be down, right? I know in South Florida, the first thing that goes away is our power. Then goes the internet. So you want to make sure that you are mobile responsive. Your website is mobile responsive. One, if you don't have a device responsive website, Google's not going to index you at all anyways. It's been quite a few years since that update happened where they do a mobile first indexing. But just in general, common sense terms, people don't have computers to search you out on. They don't have power. They're going to pull their cell phones out. So make sure you have a really easy to navigate website that's mobile responsive, that you don't make them look for content. Make sure you have a call now button right there. First thing they see without having to scroll anything on their phone should say your business name, a phone number, what you do, and a call now. And if they want to dig a little bit more on your website, wonderful. Let them do that, but don't make them do that when they're looking for somebody to remediate property damage, because there's a good chance if they're looking for you, they need you right now. All right. And if you already have them on your website, you want to convert that traffic. You don't want them bouncing off and going to your competitor. All right. The other thing with LSA and pay-per-click that's very important when it comes to saving money is understanding your capacity, right? You never want to take on more work than you can handle, right? One, it doesn't look good for your company. And two, you're going to spend a ton of money, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars per click, per lead that comes in for your company. And it's going to be relative to the money you make. So if you keep those LSA and pay-per-click running when you reach your capacity, you're throwing all the money out the window that you've made on these other jobs or you're going to make on the other jobs. So make sure if you're going to partner with a marketing agency that they have that plan in place. Ask those questions. Make sure, because it's an intimate process. With our clients here, we're on the phone with them for a long time, especially during cat season. We know it's a 24-hour thing. So our team's ready to take that on, and we understand what it takes to make sure that you're getting what you need. But again, this goes back to understanding your numbers, understanding your budgeting, and understanding what you can take on as your business. It's very important, but a very often overlooked tip when it comes to pay-per-click marketing and LSA during cat season. Now the solution. Talked about being proactive. Having that visibility. Being proactive is a must. Making sure you're taking up as much real estate on Google as you can with SEO, Google Business Profile Management, Google Ads, whether it's LSA or pay-per-click. Those are the top 3 ways. You have to understand the lead times to get that visibility. So starting now for next year is probably a good idea. If you're just starting now and you have none of these other things in place, pay-per-click, LSA, give us a call. We can walk you through how to do it. Or if you feel froggy, do it on your own. You can get my book. We walk you through some general guidelines, how to do it in Google. And there's a ton of valuable information out there if you just Google it on how to set these campaigns up yourself. Utilize your data. Know your data first, but maximize your impact with the limited resources you have, whether it's your equipment or it's budgeting constraints, because there's going to be a much higher ad cost during cat season because of the higher competition. And start now. Action is what is going to separate you from everybody else. The people who are winning are the people who execute. So if you're drinking through a fire hose right now and you have none of this stuff in place, pick one, write it down, and attack it. Execute. It's not that difficult. And the lucky thing is there's a ton of vendors out there that can help you out with this process. But I implore you to learn as much about it as you can before you get into bed with any agency to make sure that you're not just wasting money, because not just wasting money on ads, but wasting money with an agency that's not going to give you what you need for your business. So understand what it is that you're looking for and call agencies. There's only a handful of industry-specific agencies. I know Ironclad Restoration Marketing, we only work with restoration contractors. So we have a very good idea of what we need to do to help you win online. All right, so start now. Don't wait. You got to start your plan right now. And we write the 4 Ds of dominance. And to recap, don't wait. Be proactive, dominate the organic and map sections, and do implement pay-per-click and LSA. And I know do implement, that was just my way of getting that 4th D in there. But in general, don't wait, dominate, and implement. All right. All of those things are going to get you much better results when cat season strikes, and in general terms, just perpetually between cat seasons. If you're implementing Google Business Profile Management and Google Ads, and you've got a healthy, strong organic rankings via SEO, you're going to get perpetual leads into your business all the time in your local service areas that you provide these services in. All right. So get out there and do it. If you do need help, remember, it takes a team to take your restoration company to the next level. Why not partner with the experts in the restoration industry with us here at Ironclad Restoration Marketing? We provide all of these digital marketing services, including SEO, website design, Google Business Profile Management, pay-per-click, and LSA with customized solutions to help you win online. Don't wait. Give us a call today at 855-976-3759, or you can do it yourself and go to our website at ironcladrestorationmarketing.com. I think I have 300 or 400 different videos on each one of these channels. I wrote a book called The No BS Guide to Internet Marketing for Restoration Contractors. And if you're a DIY guy like myself, go ahead and visit our website. We'll send you a free copy of our book right away. Until next time, good luck on cat season. We're praying that we don't get too many bad storms down here in South Florida, and we hope to talk to you soon. See you then.